Now we start things off with Jose Rivera tonight. Rivera in the welterweight division going against Teddy Reid. Rivera 24-1-1 with 18 knockouts. Where does he fit into that welterweight picture?
You know, Jose Rivera would like to believe he's just a step below the upper echelon of that division. He won his first 23 fights. Then he ran into Willie Wise, a man who, as you know, was all set to face Pernell Whitaker. So he is a man who is toward the upper echelon of that division. He lost to Wise on a decision. Jose Rivera, at the age 24, believes that if he can put a couple impressive wins in his column, that he could get himself maybe in contention.
Well, he's going against Teddy Reid tonight, who really factors into this in a unique way because of the time that he took this fight.
He took the fight on very short notice. However, Teddy Reid was training for a fight that was to be held tomorrow in Virginia Beach, a club show. He took this one instead, so he's really ready. He's a tall, rangy fighter. His problem will be his fights average only 2.8 rounds. The big question with Teddy Reid will be, can he go into the later rounds against Rivera?
All right, out first. Well done, Mr. Bernstein, and we are set for our main event. Jose Rivera and Teddy Reid in a scheduled 10-round welterweight showdown. Here's our ring announcer, Alan Weiner.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the main event, and this main event is brought to you by Budweiser, the undefeated, undisputed king of beers. This Bud's for you. 10 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Our referee is Matt Mulvaney. Introducing in the red corner, hailing from Washington, D.C. He weighed in at 142.5 pounds. His professional record is 8-1, 6 by KO. In the black trunks, Teddy Reid. And in the blue corner, hailing from Worcester, Massachusetts, he weighed in at 144.5 pounds. With a professional record of 24-1-1, 18 by KO, Jose Rivera. And now they're brawling in Boston.
Now let's take a look at the rules as governed by the state of Massachusetts with Matt Mulvaney, our referee.
Okay, gentlemen, you've gone over the rules before.
3 knockdown rule not in effect. Standing 8 count is. Fighter can be saved by the bell in every round. Only the referee may stop the bout. 10-point must system. 3 judges score. Accidental foul will go to the cards after 3 rounds. Prior to that, it will be a technical draw. Ted Reid, born in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. He's 26 years of age. He was scheduled to fight last night in Virginia Beach and decided to take this fight on short notice, but he had been training for 4 weeks out, and that is a very important factor as far as this fight's concerned.
It really is, and that's why Pepe Correa, his trainer, decided to take this bout. And Correa told us that there was another reason why he took this bout. They believe that Rivera's style is perfect for Teddy Reid.
Take a look at the knockout ratio for Rivera, 69%. 18 of 26 bouts have ended with knockout wins. He does not have any knockout losses. Reid, 67%. 6 of his 9 bouts have ended with knockout wins. He does have 1 knockout loss. That in March of 1996 in Las Vegas. Knocked out in the 3rd round by Rene Valdez. In fact, Pepe Correa stopped the bout because Reid was taking so much punishment. And Reid later said, let me die first before you ever stop another one of my fights.
Well, Correa felt that it really changed Reid, though, that he learned from that experience and it made him tougher and made him utter a line like that. Reid has power in both hands. He's a very good puncher. Rivera probably has more power in his left hook than the right hand.
First round knockouts, Rivera has 2, Reid has 4. In fact, 4 of his 6 have come in the first round. If you're wondering, Pepe Correa, the name sounds familiar. He worked with a pretty named fighter.
A pretty good welterweight named Sugar Ray Leonard, and worked with Ray throughout much of his career, especially toward the end of it, although I guess it's not over yet, is it? Because he keeps coming back.
The middle end.
The middle end, there you go.
Rivera has fought 19 of his 26 bouts in the state of Massachusetts. He's coming off a second-round knockout in April against Gilberto Flores. His lone loss against Willie Wise in July of 1996.
And that loss to Wise was an opportunity for Rivera to step up and beat what was considered a fringe contending fighter. Wise, remember, has been considered as a possible opponent for Pernell Whitaker since Whitaker's lost to De La Hoya, but he couldn't quite get the job done. Pretty close 10-round fight, but Rivera lost it. Here in round one, we've seen Reid staying on the outside and coming very close to landing some big shots. Rivera's had a hard time getting in where he can work the body and also crank up that left hook.
Pepe Correa saying that he was surprised Rivera's people accepted Reid as an opponent. Said obviously they did not do their homework. Their fighter is in for a lot more than they can handle.
We'll see.
Final seconds of round one, scheduled for 10. Rivera and Reid on the deuce. Welcome back to the Roxy in Boston. Bob Papa along with Al Bernstein. Round two underway. Jose Rivera, Teddy Reid. Rivera in the red, Reid in the dark trunks. If you just joined us, Joey DeGrandis, unanimous win over Bernice Barber, and David Tomas, a unanimous win over Anthony Perry. We take a look at punches in round one.
Very close round in terms of what was landed, though Reid was much busier, so probably end up giving that round to either man. In fact, I gave it to Reid, and I believe you gave it to Rivera.
I sure did.
All right. Little debate going here.
As far as second round knockouts are concerned, Rivera has 9. Reid has 1. Rivera has as many second round knockouts as Reid has pro fights.
Rivera stepping up the attack a little bit, trying to get on the inside. What he's got to worry about is that right hand from long range by Reid. Now Rivera's using his own jab, which is what you need to do against a jabber to neutralize his jab. Use your own. And good right by Rivera. We mentioned Pepe Carrera, but the man, that's Pepe Carrera, but the man who was in the corner of Rivera, Tommy Parks, who is very well known also in the boxing circles. He trains Ray Mercer and Charles Murray, who we saw here against Pito Cardona. And Tommy Parks feels that this young man, Rivera, is one of the hardest workers he has ever trained. He said he's very studious. He's a young man who works as hard as he can, and he said, I think he's going to get better. This is the first fight that Parks is working with Rivera in.
Reid letting his hands go a little wide and a little wild, but Rivera respecting it.
They want Reid to have more patience in attacking. That's what Correa told us, and he tends to be a little wild sometimes. It's been a better, I think, a pretty good round for Rivera because he has gotten that overhand right in repeatedly over the jab of Reid.
Reid works out of the Sugar Ray Leonard Gym in Palmer Park, Maryland.
And there he spars with some guys like William Joppi, who just lost that middleweight crown, Andrew Council, a top middleweight, Daryl Coley, and even Shambra Mitchell. So he's got some good sparring there in D.C. Nice right by Reid.
Final seconds of round two, scheduled for 10. Teddy Reid and Jose Rivera. Tommy Parks in the corner of Jose Rivera. Now these men are in the welterweight division.
It's one of the most talent-laden divisions there is. You see Cortez, De La Hoya, Trinidad, Michael Lowe, the WBO champion, who is obviously a notch below those other guys. And how about the fact that Pernell Whitaker not even listed there? And of course, he was welterweight champion for about 2 presidential administrations. So that's a tough division. But Rivera hopes to be in that lofty group someday.
And all of them especially Trinidad and De La Hoya, have the ability to go up just a little bit more and then see the likes of the Terry Norrises of the world.
Oh, yeah, it's a great, very talented area of fighters. And we see that Rivera doing a great job in round 2. He is really, really starting to take control of this fight. And Reid, his normal fight goes 2.8 rounds. The average of 2.8 because of his power. The longer Rivera takes this fight, the better it's going to be for him. Reid has never been past 6 rounds, and we can already see Rivera starting to get the job done.
Reid just keeping his hands at his wayside and getting tagged here to start round 3. Rivera has 4 third-round knockouts. None for Reid.
And the jab of Reid has not been as effective as he'd like. Only 3 of 56 jabs have landed. Rivera's landed 15 of 45. If Reid doesn't win the battle of the jab, he is in huge trouble in this fight. Now Rivera's starting to fight on the inside. If he does that, Reid is in big trouble, and you see it.
Look how low Reid's hands are. He seems very tight with his arms. Not very loose at this point.
Very one-dimensional attack from Reid. Jab, straight right hand, a wild left hook.
He just seems to have slowed down, too, from a motion standpoint. 94% of Rivera's knockouts have come within the first 4 rounds.
Overhand right gets there, and that one shook Teddy Reid.
Reid has been knocked out before.
Now Reid is missing badly with those shots. See, it's a one-dimensional attack. It's the jab, the straight right hand, maybe an occasional hook, but not much going on. And Rivera is giving Reid many more angles, throwing a wider variety of punches, and mixing his attack to the body and the head.
Rivera from nearby Worcester, Mass, home of Holy Cross Fine University.
I'm out.
And right now, don't look at me like that. I didn't go to Holy Cross.
I know you didn't. I was wondering what the connection was there.
And right now, Rivera is going to have Reid saying some Hail Marys. Doesn't get his offense and defense on track as we come to the end of round 3. Quite an ability to get a cold one here at the Roxy. And some hot action in the ring, especially from Jose Rivera. Bob Papa, Al Bernstein back in Boston. Round 4 underway. This scheduled 10-round welterweight bout. Jose Rivera, the 24-year-old out of Worcester, Mass, and Teddy Reid out of Washington, D.C. There are the numbers in round 3.
Rivera doing very well, and part of the problem for Reid is that he's landed just 12 of 151 jabs in this bout, only 8%. Never, never will an outside boxer get the job done landing jabs at that rate.
Little nick under the right eye of Reid. And those body shots. Yeah, he's making believe he's not, but that's usually a telltale sign that you are. There have been no knockdowns yet. Wow, triple left from Rivera.
Oh, he's cranking up that left hook. It's a good one of his best punches. See, Rivera is not a one-punch knockout guy, but if you allow him to do this, obviously, he's going to take you out, and he has taken people out before.
There's 2 fourth-round knockouts. See how slow Reid has become? Take a look at Al's scorecard.
I have Rivera winning 2 of the 3 rounds and dominating those 2 rounds and really taking control of this fight, even though clearly there is only 1 point ahead.
Round 1 was close round. I gave that one to Rivera. Could have gone either way. Now Reid trying to load up a bit.
Big hook by Rivera. Reid has only had 25 rounds as a pro. Rivera has 103. You see the experience paying off for Rivera.
Rivera just controlling Teddy Reid.
He is landing almost anything he wants to land. Reid is keeping his head up and his hands down. Obviously not a good combination. Stamina, a big question with Teddy Reid. Can he go a long way in a fight? You sense he's getting tired right now. He was training for a fight that he was supposed to have yesterday in Virginia Beach, so even though he took this on short notice, in theory he was ready. But he is being worn down by Rivera. Obviously, he was not going against someone as good as Jose Rivera. We come to the end of round 4, all Rivera.
We begin round number 5 of this scheduled 10-round welterweight bout between Jose Rivera in the red and Teddy Reid in the dark trunks. It's been all Rivera through the first 4 rounds. After a close round 1, we take a look at the numbers. Look at that, even amount thrown.
That is intriguing, but clearly the edge to Rivera, landing at 48%. And I mean, he in the last couple rounds he has been totally dominant and has landed most of what he has thrown. Well, Correa and Reid thought that the style of Rivera would work for them, but it has not. He's been much tougher to hit, I think, than they anticipated coming in.
101 more punches landed. That's amazing considering they've thrown the same amount.
That is, especially at this point in the fight. That's a big edge. Reid keeping his right hand a little higher than he has, which is a good idea. They want Rivera to roll with punches and do a better defensive job. That's what Tommy Park said, and they have to be pleased with what he's done in this fight in that regard.
Good body work by Rivera.
Jose Rivera is clearly still a work in progress, and they've got a very able and experienced tutor now in Tommy Parks in place to help him maybe get to the next level.
That's sort of the tone for tonight. We saw the same with Joey DeGrandis, guy who's definitely gotten a lot better. We started the show with David Tomas of Chelsea, Mass, another promising young boxer.
They are all men on the improve. And now Reid in a little bit of trouble.
Good right hand to the ear by Rivera. Can he finish him off here in round 5?
And will Correa be tempted to stop it himself as he did the Valdez fight? Nice rights by Reid, but they had no impact on Rivera, and that has to be a little disheartening as well. A rough round 5 for Reid. Oh, he just missed being nailed with a huge right.
Rivera keeping some body attack mixed in.
Look at how Rivera is rolling with those rights, but that one got there by Reid. They are both throwing bombs.
Yeah, right to the ear by Reid, left by Rivera. Another left. Trent again to round 5. We have 5 more to go. Wow, they slug it out after the bell. And Matt Mullaney, the referee, steps in.
Fun at the Roxy, and this crowd is having a good time, and why not? Let's listen.
You can't just give me that. You got to put something on it. Reid. If you put something on it, I don't think you're going to stand up on the ground, but you got to bring your hands back on your chin. You got that? All right? Okay, let's see what we got. Give me more water. Give me more water in the head. Come on. Breathe real good.
Breathe. You're not breathing, baby. Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Suck it up. You're not breathing, baby. Deep.
You bring your left hand back up.
Take a look at some of the action near the end of round 5.
It was fast and furious. Both men trying to land the right hand that they think will end this bout. Rivera doing a little better job of getting away from those shots. And also, what else? He has more variety of punches to mix in. The left hook, etc. And that's why he got the better of that.
So we begin round number 6 of the scheduled 10-round welterweight bout between Jose Rivera and Teddy Reid. Papa Al Bernstein from the Roxy in Boston. We take a look at the numbers in round 5.
Rivera landing at a 47% clip, and Reid, even though he got some nice power shots in, only landing 80 of 87. So you see why Rivera has taken control of this bout, and it looked for all the world like he might be close to ending it in the 5th.
And obviously stamina and distance are a problem. Reid has never been past 8 rounds. He's only been past 4 rounds twice. This is only his 10th pro bout. Take a look at Al's scorecard through 5 rounds. Al has it 49-46.
Rivera taking control of this bout. You could make a case for him winning all the rounds.
Yeah, I can.
I gave him the first round to Reid, but that one could have gone to Rivera. And now Reid dropping his hands and mugging, but I'll tell you what, all he's doing is inviting Rivera to whack him once or twice.
Punch out, punch out, punch out, punch out. That's it.
Tell you one thing, we've had very clean bouts tonight. The referees have not really had to do much.
Yeah, exceptionally. DeGrandis, in his fight, though he was working on the inside, was very clean, as was Bernice Barber. They threw some low blows, but didn't make it a practice. Good body work by Rivera. He has mixed up the body work well. Nice hook by Reid. One of his best hooks in this fight.
Fellow New Englander is looking on. Tito Cardona, who we've had here on ESPN. That tough loss to Charles Murray here.
And then went on to get a big win against Ivan Robinson, a top contender. And I thought Tito really won the fight against Murray as well.
Don't do it again.
A caution, a warning given by Matt Mullaney to Reid. Tito Cardona will always have a special place in my heart because he made me an honorary Cub Scout here at this very building. So if I'm a little partial to him, you'll excuse me.
Scout's honor. Final 20 seconds in round 6.
How many fingers do I put up as a Cub Scout? 2, is it? Another good round for Rivera.
And Teddy Reid trying to find some energy.
For 11 years, that's amazing.
That's a lot of fun.
Oh, it is fun.
There is Teddy Reid, who's not having a lot of fun as we begin round number 7 against Jose Rivera. Rivera has done a very solid job tonight of putting his punches together. Neither man has been down, but Reid has taken quite a bit of punishment.
You know what's interesting about Rivera's performance? He has been off since April 25th. That's the second longest layoff of his career. And yet, Bob, he was sharp almost from the get-go in this match.
Reid took this fight on very short notice, although he was training for a fight that was to be held last night in Virginia Beach. But this is obviously a step up in competition against a Jose Rivera.
One of the reasons why Rivera maybe doesn't pack as much power as he would like, a lot of arm punches from Rivera. A lot of times he doesn't get as much leverage in these punches as he would like. He does in the body shots, but not the head shots.
Take a look at the 6+ round fights for these two. Rivera 6-1. And the one loss, a 10-round decision to Willie Wise in July of '96. Reid 2-0.
But in Reid's case, he's only been past the 6-round limit, or to the 6-round limit twice, past it. So he is certainly at a disadvantage as these rounds continue. And many people around here questioning whether Reid had the stamina to deal with the later rounds. Good body work by Rivera. He is mixing his attack and just chopping Reid down.
And Reid getting slower and slower. You can see it, those looping overhand motions. They're not even punches.
He lands it right there. It makes no difference, and Rivera continues to press the attack.
Rivera is just 24 years of age. This is his 27th professional bout, so he has time on his side.
Won his first 23 pro fights. Then he ran into Willie Wise, lost a 10-round decision, had a technical draw in addition to another win. So he'd like to get a big winning streak started here. Reid has shown a lot of courage. He has been blasted with lots of shots, and he's hanging in there.
Final seconds of round 7, scheduled for 10. Rivera and Reid on the deuce. Welcome back to the Roxy in Boston. Great venue for boxing. It's Boston's answer to Philadelphia's Blue Horizon. Bob Papa, along with Al Bernstein, Jose Rivera, and Teddy Reid embark upon round number 8 in the scheduled 10-round bout. Earlier, Joey DeGrandis, a very impressive unanimous win over Bernice Barber, and young David Tomas of Chelsea, Mass, a unanimous win over previous undefeated Anthony Perry. A lot of young boxers tonight here at the Roxy.
There you look at the numbers through round 7. It has been mostly Rivera, pretty much all Rivera, making Reid miss often, allowing him only to land 18% of his punches and getting the job done offensively.
Now, is it important for Rivera, the people in Rivera's corners, Reid starts ripping off some rights, try to finish Reid off?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he wants to create a good situation where he gets a win here. Whether it goes the distance or it doesn't, I don't think it matters to him. And I think he's proven his point that he's fighting well and that he is at another level than Teddy Reid, and he's waiting another chance to fight a Willie Wise type fighter and maybe next time get the job done.
Well, with the way Reid started this 8th round, you would think someone told him it was the final round.
He landed some big right hands against Rivera.
Remember, he's never been past 8 rounds.
Rivera has abandoned his jab a little bit. Now there he throws it, and there again, and it works for him when he throws it. Look at him turn Reid around. That's where Rivera is a more experienced fighter than Teddy Reid. He's had more rounds than him, almost about 4 times as many rounds, and he has more of the really veteran moves than does Reid.
And this is all uncharted waters for Reid. 6 rounds is the most he'd ever got. He's in the 8th round.
Switches to lefty and pays the price for it. He is tired and he's getting hurt. Rivera may get that stoppage that you talked about. A sign of the frustration of Reid. His technique has gone south on him, throwing those wild punches and keeping his hands so low.
Final 20 seconds of round number 8. Jose Rivera and Teddy Reid, scheduled for 10, will return to Boston, Roxy Theater, after these words. Welcome back to Boston, Massachusetts. Bob Papa, along with Al Bernstein. Round 9 underway in the scheduled 10-round welterweight bout between Jose Rivera and Teddy Reid. It has been all Rivera, with the exception of round 1, in which my partner, Mr. Bernstein, felt that Teddy Reid was victorious.
There's Pito Cardona, who we saw here against Charles Murray. He is actively rooting Rivera on. You see him giving encouragement to Rivera and hoping that he can pull this one out. And our congratulations to Pito for that win over Ivan Robinson.
Well, what a win it was. He blasted Robinson. I was on another network, but I had a chance to watch it.
Occasionally we'll watch boxing, even if it is on another network. Pito Cardona, a delightful young man, and definitely improving as a fighter, and he is a guy that will make a mark in the junior lightweight and lightweight divisions.
He is rooting on Jose Rivera. Pito from Hartford.
This is uncharted territory for Reid, as we pointed out. He's not been to the 9th round. And
hey, Rivera's only been past round 8 twice.
Reid is on his bicycle, really almost in prevent defense mode.
Oh, good right hand by Rivera.
Next week, by the way, Friday, we're going to be in Saratoga Springs. Verno Phillips and Godfrey Nayakana, very good junior middleweight matchup. Phillips, we saw him win the, I believe, WBO junior middleweight title here on ESPN.
Saratoga in August.
Great racetrack, and we're looking forward to visiting that part of the country.
It's actually later this week.
That's true.
We'll be out in your neck of the woods in September in Las Vegas.
Stevie Johnson against Saul Duran on the 12th of September, just before the Oscar De La Hoya Hector Camacho bout.
Yeah, that's the WBC championship right here on ESPN.
Lightweight title that Stevie Johnson won and has defended once already.
Part of ESPN's championship series.
Right now it is Jose Rivera just carving out a win over Teddy Reid. Controlling this 9th round. Not as dominant in this round as some of the others, but more than taking it.
Closing seconds of round 9, the 10th and final round to go. Can Teddy Reid pull off the upset? We'll find out.
A lot of fun. I'm going to tell you what, Cynthia Cooper's an offensive machine. I saw a couple games where she tossed in over 30, and she's got some moves.
Very nice. Liberty struggling a little bit after that very hot start.
They did have a hot start. Now they are struggling. LA's starting to come on a bit.
And we begin round number 10, the final round between Jose Rivera and Teddy Reid. Bob Papa, Al Bernstein from the Roxy in Boston. Rivera looking for his 25th win. We take a look at the numbers through 9 frames of boxing.
A big edge for Rivera. He is landing still at a 45% clip, and Reid landing 19%, obviously not very good. It will take a miracle, something like a knockout, for Teddy Reid to get the job done here.
Hey, we were talking about our WBC championship fight from Las Vegas on September the 12th. We found out earlier we thought we'd be seeing Dana Rosenblatt here on the Deuce in September, but his manager says no way.
Yeah, apparently they will wait till October to bring him back from the hand injury that has reoccurred. And so we will see him in October, but apparently not on September 26th as we anticipated.
Well, earlier we heard the chants of Joey for Joey DeGrandis, a unanimous winner over Bernice Barber, and probably DeGrandis' finest performance as a pro. And this a very good one by Jose Rivera tonight. Hey, you know what? We have to tip our cap here to Teddy Reid, who took this fight on short notice, had never been past round 6. He's made a pretty good showing, all things considered.
Well, he's hanging in there. He's taken a lot of punishment, and he did not quit, and that's important for him. But they need to work on some technique. He's got to be more patient, as Pepe Correa said he wanted him to be, and he's got to throw his punches a little straighter and keep his hands up.
And maybe a little bit too much of that Sugar Ray influence. You know, the hands down, the shoulder wag.
Not everybody can do it.
In fact, very few can.
That's for sure. It looks as if Jose Rivera will carve out a 10-round win after layoff since April, since April 25th. He has come back very, very well with his new trainer, Tommy Parks. I'm sure Tommy was happy with what his young man has done tonight.
There have been no knockdowns, no cuts, no butts, no points deducted. Good clean bout.
24, Jose Rivera looks forward to moving up in the welterweight division for Teddy Reid, the 26-year-old from Washington, D.C. It was a very tough outing. He certainly hoped for better.
Well, earlier tonight, as we told you, the Grandis was a winner. So was David Tomas. Zabdil Judah out of Brooklyn, New York, was in action against Cesar Castro. And there's the first knockdown in round one, Judah delivering to Castro.
That straight left hand would be repeated against Castro, as Judah showed good hand speed and more power than we saw from him as an amateur. And the left hand would be the weapon he would use ultimately to put Castro down and out in this bout. So Judah moved his record to 9-0. And this young man, who very narrowly missed making the 1996 Olympic team, shows us why, as a professional, many believe that he has tremendous potential. And that straight left hand put Castro down and out.
The 7th knockout for Zabdil Judah of Brooklyn, New York, 9-0 with 7 KOs. There's Teddy Reid, and we are awaiting the judge's decision from our main event against Jose Rivera. Let's take a look at some more numbers before the decision.
Rivera very consistent, landed 45% pretty much throughout this bout, and that's a very nice percentage. And what is also nice is he mixed his attack to both the body and the head very well.
Well, I had it a shutout. Here's Alan Weiner.
Decision. Judge Lee. Scores the bout 100-90. Judge O'Neill scores the bout 99-91. Judge Driscoll scores the bout 99-91.
Let me guess.
And the winner by a unanimous decision, Rivera.
Well, that was the most dramatic announcement of a lopsided win you'll ever see. Jose Rivera with a unanimous decision over Terry. Up next on the Deuce, Kenny Mayne with RPM tonight. Best of luck to Kenny as he moves on to Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night, everyone.